Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Lion Zeal Show. In this episode, I'm sitting down with Holly Starks and we're talking about YouTube SEO and basically just spam, how to leverage spam to make a lot of money from SEO. And that is in two ways. The first way is in ranking on YouTube itself and get a lot of traffic from there, which is huge. And the second is using YouTube to rank in Google, and there's two parts really. We're going to break down how to do both of them all within this interview. Here is a lot of detail and straight up like training of all the tools or the resources or the process you need to go through to rank these YouTube videos. It's very cool and it's a little bit different to, especially even what I teach, where you're going out there and doing like really high quality PBNs and stuff. It's very spammy and mass scale, and it's really cool to see like a different approach and see that this is actually working extremely well. So let's get into the content, the meat of the interview here. I hope you enjoy the episode. Holly, hey, thank you for joining me on the show this week. It's very cool to have you here.
Hey, thanks for having me.
So you're actually quite recommended by quite a few people to come on the show, but for anyone that doesn't know you already, do you want to give like a little introduction as to who you are and what it is that you do?
Yeah, so I'm Holly Starks. There's a lot of people that know me as Holly Starks Cooper, but I'm trying to drop the Cooper part of my name. I started out in internet marketing about 5 or 6 years ago, and at that time I built out a PBN network. I had about 1,000 PBNs. They were like PR 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 7. I spent like a ridiculous amount of money on them, and I had quite a few clients, and one morning I woke up and everything got de-indexed, and
Wow.
I was in the hole for all of those domains, and then I lost almost 30,000 a month in monthly
So the whole
reoccurring
network got
income.
de-indexed?
The entire network.
Wow.
Yeah, it went down like I think it was in 2013, 2014 when Google came in and de-indexed ELN and ALN, and so my network got hit too. And I had like, footprints and all that kind of stuff on it.
Sure.
I didn't really care.
No one did back then.
So I lost my network. Yeah, right? It was like awesome to rank back in 2012, right? Yeah, so I lost my network. I lost 30,000 a month, and then the company's websites that were on my network went down the tube because they lost a very powerful amount of links. So then they wanted refunds. So I was in the hole. I don't know. It had to have been a high six-figure
Wow.
what it ended up being. And I left the SEO world for almost a year, and I had to teach myself again because I'm totally self-taught on SEO. And so I had to teach myself again how to rank me or my clients or doing services without getting hit by, at the time, Cuts and his theories and by all the Google animals, right? So I ended up turning to YouTube because it's Google's baby. They don't, at the time, they weren't de-indexing videos. They were, wanting people to make videos. So I turned to YouTube, and I kind of just blew up from there. I made a training course about how I was ranking YouTube videos. I made an affiliate. I made a lot of money doing affiliate, a lot of money doing locals, and that's kind of how I became the YouTube person at that point. I had to teach myself something else other than PBNs, like the traditional PBNs, with the hosting and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I got there.
It's really interesting. So you stay clear of PBNs completely now?
So my PBN network is, for me, it's considered what we call an embed network. So we only do embeds, which is a video embed, and we only do it on Web 2.0s and free blogs and the cloud. So like the cloud would be Google's cloud, like S3, Google Sites we do, and then we use all Web 2.0s that you are allowed to do embeds on, which are like maybe only, there's about 50 of them or so like that. So that's our PBN network now, and there's not like a traditional PBN. You have content, and links. An embed network, we just have the embed to the video, and then we have a backlink going to the playlist or the channel, or not very many going to the video itself.
Okay, interesting. Is that same level of quality, or is it just like throwing up all these embeds in
Yeah,
different
no,
places?
it's shit quality. It's and it's footprints too. But the reason why we do that basically is because we're making the video and the channel look like it's going viral. So if it's going viral, it's considered social aspect for ranking. So we can get video quickly amount of power to it. And we don't really care about views and stuff like that. It's just getting as many embeds to the playlist and the channel, and then it'll trickle down to the video. But they're not like at all quality. Like the content is duplicated through 5,000 posts, exactly the same, but it's not.
Clearly, it works very well now.
Quality. Yeah. Well, in November they had. In November they did a huge de-indexing. So I've been doing YouTube for about 3 years now. 3-4 years, and I was doing live streaming, because live streaming, is giving more power to the video than a regular upload. At the moment, it's not anymore, but at the moment it was. I had 3.5 million videos on YouTube that were ranking. Wow. And that were giving. Yeah, so I had hundreds of servers consistently uploading by live streaming videos, and in November they took them all out. I literally lost 3.5 million videos in a matter of hours. I lost all my channels, all my AdSense accounts, all my Amazon accounts, all my Twitter accounts. It was a very devastating day.
Insane,
let's just say that. Yeah, so since November, I've had to go back again and learn how to do YouTube a little bit different. Not do a million links to a video. You got to back it off. You trust flow. Need more quality links, but we're still doing. I mean, I'm a spammer, so we're still doing spamming.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Stepping back a little bit for the absolute beginners, are you ranking them within Google or within YouTube itself?
So 80% of traffic on my lead gen and like affiliate stuff and Amazon, 80% come from YouTube. So
okay.
First, we want to rank number 1 in YouTube, which usually, it takes us a couple weeks, if that. I mean, if it's a hard competition, it would take a couple weeks. If not, it'll take, 3-4 days, and we'll be popping at number 1. On Google Video, we'll be at number 1 within a couple weeks, too. So Google.com itself will usually take, depending on competition, we can take between 5 days to 2 months. But my main goal is to... Yeah, it's very quick because, we have so many social signals going to it. And because so much of my traffic, because everyone has mobile phones, so they're coming in through a video. They're not coming in through Google. If you have things like how-to or question-type niches, you can rank YouTube all day long. You don't have to worry about Google, technically.
Okay, that makes sense. And the second question for beginners is, how are you monetizing those videos for? What sort of monetization techniques are there?
Excuse me. So for the local lead gen, I use Home Advisor. I send all my traffic to Home Advisor, or I send it to companies like PPL companies, like a Ring Partner. That would be one of the biggest one that I would send it to. For the lawyers, there's private companies that you can find, and if there's nationwide companies, are the ones that we go with, because we don't go for a small state or like a small city. We hit 180,000 locations per video, so we need nationwide companies. So the local lead gen makes us a good deal of money. And then we do Black Friday and Christmas. So when it's Black Friday in around October, I have a team of high school kids that work for me, and they come in and they actually sit in my basement for 4 hours every night, and they upload videos, do the description and the tags, and get the videos ranking. And then sometimes we can get up to 10% on Amazon, which is kind of shit, but we have so much traffic, we don't know what else to do with it. And then we do affiliate stuff, like pushing people's products and like ClickBank, and we don't do as much as ClickBank as we would like to, but just because we don't have time to.
It's very cool. It's a whole lot of stuff there. I love using all the high schoolers to do all the work. It's awesome.
Yeah, they love it, and once they leave, graduate from high school, they already have skills, so they go to their college, and then I can get like sneaky little college links on their websites because they end up working as a webmaster for their college. So it's a VA basically, but it's out of my house.
Okay, interesting. And I guess you're paying them pretty well for that.
So it's cash. It's $5 an hour, which isn't like that's nothing. But they can listen to their headphones, and they have to work 4 hours. Well, put in 4 hours of work. But if they only work for 2 hours, but that was really 4 hours of work, then they still get paid for their 4 hours. So most people do their whole 4 hours though.
Okay, so we get into like how you actually like set up the video and everything like that. You have to give. It's kind of difficult to explain it all without any visual cues, I imagine. But like you're not doing live anymore.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing any live streaming. I switched all over to straight uploads. So that was one of the basic, real big changes that I made and saved me a lot of money because I don't have servers doing it. It's automated program. It just straight uploads the same video to all the locations. I'm setting up the channels a little bit different, but I'm not doing any live streaming. Really, if a live stream gives me a boost, it's going to be maybe a week. It's going to give me a boost, and I can pop a video in there within the 5 days. So it's not worth it to me. And that was one of the big things in November that they hit was they took out they took out millions of videos of live streaming. Because they hit all of mine, they hit all of my students. It was like a seriously bad day.
Yikes. And what do the videos look like? Or say for like a PPL one?
So it's just my PPL ones are just a man or a woman, and like on this side they're speaking and saying real simple things like if you're looking for an AC repair guy in Miami, Florida, just give us a call. We have a receptionist standing by. We're open 24 hours, something like that. And then on this side it's a split screen. So on this side then we would have like a loop 30-second video of someone doing AC repair. So okay. It's very
simple.
It's nothing special at all. Yeah.
So with uploading the videos, is there anything special you need to do when you get started with the absolute basics?
So the basics is I use a program named Spin Blaster Pro, I think it is called. It's an old school program. And it changes, so the way that we get around making so many videos with one basic video is it changes the video by a millisecond, so YouTube doesn't know it's a duplicate content. So there's a little bit of manual work, but not very much, and my kids do it. And then we just upload it to the program, and I mean you have to do your tags. Like, don't go crazy on tags. We do only like 5 to 7 tags now. We make sure that the geolocator is the actual location of the video. So we have a program set up that it goes and edits out of each geolocation. Those are the two really big things. Like I don't do 1,000 words description. Like at most I do maybe like 40 words. I think that's even way too much. I probably only do 20 words.
Okay.
And I don't really stuff the description because my tags have the description in them.
Got it.
The really big important thing is the geotag.
Interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen that many people talk about that stuff. So once the video is live, what do you do next?
So once the video is uploaded, we would take the embed code, and if nobody knows what an embed code is, you just go to the YouTube video and click on share and then click on embed, and that's your embed code. And then you just copy and paste that into whatever automated program you're using. So we use Money Robot, Zenaposter, Scrapebox for comments. You just copy that code in. That's really all you do. If you want to do it manually, you could just go to like WordPress blogs and just copy the code in. That's all. I mean, that's all we do. It's once we have like a couple hundred embeds, we go on to the next niche. Because I get bored easily, so I can't like just work on, like people are saying, focus on one niche. I have like 200-300 niches that I focus on every year, so I would get bored.
Interesting, that makes sense. So you're not, like you said, like 200 or 300. You're not like mass spamming like thousands or anything like that.
So back in 2013, we mass spammed going straight to the video, and it worked. But since the de-indexing in November, if you like, actually even before that, like if you sent video or if you sent too many links to a video, it would like fall off the face of the earth. So at most we do 100 to 200 to the video itself, and then we'll send like a couple thousand to the playlist and to the channel. So the playlist and the channel, I don't care if it ranks anyways, but the juice will follow through to the video.
Okay. And when you're uploading, you said you're uploading like hundreds or thousands, I think you said, of the same video. Are some of them targeting the exact same keyword? Is that to account for like random ranking factor?
Yeah, so like for Wisconsin, it would be tree removal Janesville, tree removal Milton, tree removal Madison. So it has the base keyword, and then it adds a location. So Wisconsin's 3,000 locations. So I would have 3,000 tree removals for Wisconsin, and then like California would have 8,000. Okay. So it's the main keyword, and then the phone number, and then a secondary keyword.
Got it. So that allows you to firstly have a shitload for like Wisconsin, for example, then also for every single suburb or area within or around that area.
Yeah, and it's amazing how, I mean, like, the thing is, like, because we're putting so many videos in YouTube and in Google, it has to put it somewhere, right? And the only place to put it is at the beginning, because we're uploading so much and it's fresh content. Yeah. So we did like a Christmas lights campaign in November, October, November, December. And if you looked up Christmas lights in any state in the U.S., I was like the first 25 pages. Like there's no way that you weren't going to call me. You know what I mean? That's what my goal is to blanket every state for every niche. And even if I only do it in YouTube and say Google only has like 50% or 70% ranking, we don't really care, because everyone is on the mobile phones, and our calls, even our lead gen calls, are coming through on mobile phones. Yeah. So while it's nice to rank in Google, at the same time, it's not like our main focus anymore.
That makes sense, yeah. Yeah, even on, like, I have local sites, and it's still, like, 60% plus of the traffic is usually mobile phones.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't think, like, forms would be filled out on your mobile phone, but we were doing payday loans in January, and we even had almost 70% filling out actually from their mobile phones. So while it's more competitive in Google and YouTube, it was not. So we were just like, at that point, that's when I said, look at the stats and the analytics. YouTube is going to be our focus going forward. If we rank in Google, it's a nice thing to show our students, our clients, but yeah, it's not. I really don't care, I guess.
Oh, fair enough. And before someone watches this, then goes and uploads like 500 videos to a single channel, I presume you're mixing that up.
No, actually I'm not. So previously we would mix it up. Okay. We had about 150,000 channels. Wow. And when I lost them, that's when I stood back and said, I wonder if I make them with fresh content and daily uploading, then it's okay. So now it's like one channel for each state, so it's 51 channels, and then each channel has would have 300 niches in it. It just would be
Okay,
like
wow.
separated by playlist. So that's what we're going forward with. You know, I mean, we're only 3 months in, but I haven't lost anything in the last 3 months, so it's working for now. But
Interesting.
we're hoping that we don't get caught.
So you said you're like spacing out. Is it just one upload per day per playlist, or just for the
No.
channel?
So it's kind of like so basically what we're doing is like we're only uploading maybe 200 to 300 per niche per channel.
Okay.
So I couldn't tell you how many that is in a day or anything, because we just give the kids like the sheets and just say go and set the program. So they set the program, and I used to have 300 VPSs. Now I have 51 VPSs. So each VPS is consistently working. It's just that's I guess that's how we're doing. Like once like Hawaii and District of Columbia would finish before Wisconsin would, but like 200 to 300 a day is our max per
Okay.
channel.
Okay, it's interesting though. It's a little bit different to what I imagined, but like that's awesome. Very, very cool. Is there
Yeah, and
any?
we don't use any proxies. No
Okay.
proxies at all, because proxies kill your accounts. Mine are all on one IP, so I have like thousands of Twitter accounts on one IP. I have thousands of Instagram accounts on one IP. I have thousands of bloggers. Like we don't use proxies. We use one IP. We make sure it's clean. And we don't screw up the IP.
Wow. Again, that's completely different advice to what I imagine most people are hearing. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Interesting. I guess because you're not getting them like blocked or whatever for spam, then it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, because when we're spamming, we're using like Money Robot uses proxies and Zenoposter. We're not spamming like they're registered blogs to us, so they're not considered as spamming. I guess we're not like doing emailing or anything, and um, it works really good. Like people are nuts when they say, "I can't believe you have 5,000 Twitter's accounts on one IP," and they're all like phone registered, 5,000 different phone numbers, but I take good care of the accounts. I'm not mass like going crazy. I'm spamming, but I'm not like going crazy on it.
Yeah, that makes sense. And for like you get all those paranoid people out there that think that Google can somehow see their IP or something. If like it doesn't matter, right? All
Yeah,
that matters like Twitter. They're not gonna give all the information over to Google, so it doesn't
yeah,
matter at all.
yeah. Well, I mean, like when you have a dirty IP, it matters because so I have a lot of different computers in my house, and
Yeah.
so I tested it, and I did 20 on the computer that we're on now. I did 20 on my main computer that I used. The 20 on my computer I use now were dead within 5 days, but the other ones were fine. And so this computer, I know this IP has it's dirty, so I don't use it for that. So that's how we test it. We
Interesting.
make 20, we wait 2 weeks. If it's clear, then we know it's a clean IP.
I like that. That's a nice, a quick test. Very simple. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything we missed out in terms of the YouTube videos, like getting them ranked?
So really the trick to getting them ranked is using things, I mean, Money Robot, Zenoposter. I created tools that I use. So we use something that is like custom maps, and inside the map we'll do like a location and then a link to each video. And then we use IFT, which that's content. It spits content out to a bunch of different Web 2.0s, like Twitter's, Blogger, Tumblr. And then I also created a software because I wasn't creating the right kind of embed I wanted, so I just recently created that too. So I use 5 tools, and I don't go and like do the shiny syndrome thing. Like, there's some out there that you can use, but I already bought these. I use XRunner still. XRunner's, old tool, old spamming
Yeah.
tool. But beyond that, it's about embeds. It's about embeds. high quality links, not sending like a ridiculous amount of links. Just make sure they're high quality. They're high quality to me is like a Twitter account that's a page authority of a 40, trust flow of, I don't care what the trust flow is. It's just like, it's a social, powerful link.
Okay, and how do you build that up, the domain authority on like all those Twitters, on the bloggers, whatever platforms?
So I don't know if your members know or not, but so there are some Web 2.0 accounts that are registered by people and then they're dropped.
Yeah.
They're like, so I have a couple VPSs that are scraping every day, and I have 4.5 billion keywords. I'm a
Yeah.
person who goes really big, you know what I mean? So those scrape every day, and then scraping, checking the Twitter profiles and the page authority, and then I go register them, like Tumblr, Blogger, Overblog, Twitter, Weebly. I think that's it. So that's what we do, is just scraping and then seeing what's available to be registered, register them. They keep the authority on them, and then put them into our network and just start posting on them.
Got it. So yeah, just like PBNs, basically, people drop their social accounts, their Web 2.0s, blogs, whatever. Then you just go find all the ones that they're not using anymore, register them, and use them in your network.
Yeah. Like I'm kind of a lazy marketer, in a sense, a lazy SEOer. I like to hijack other people's work. So if I can, if you're gonna not pay attention and drop something, I'm gonna pick it up. And the only reason why I don't do domains is just because of hosting. So last year in June, XYZ had a sale of 2 cents a domain, and I ended up buying about 42,000 XYZ domains, which was fine. My intentions were to make an embed private network again. I ended up using them on mass pages and getting quite a few de-indexed, and then I was like, I like using the Web 2.0s. I don't have to worry about hosting and registering the domain again and private. I mean, I don't care about that stuff. It's a link is a link is a link is a link when it deals with video.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
So,
and with this network, I'm presuming like you do all the embeds and stuff using the same sites over and over again. It's not like they have to stay on the homepage or anything like that.
Yeah, we just use it over and over again. So like this, like our main Twitter will put a post out, and it's a page authority of a 70. So it's a very strong Twitter account. And then that Twitter will go out to 300 other Twitter accounts as a retweet. Then these ones are going to all retweet those 300. And then we'll bring in another 600 to retweet the first 300. So eventually it gets crazy if you don't see it on a mind map. But it's basically just like the social aspect of it is what I'm feeling that makes it rank more than anything.
Yeah.
Is by using the Web 2.0s as efficient as I can. So I reuse them as much as I can.
Just a massive amount of syndication.
Yeah. So it makes it look social. It totally makes it go viral.
Yeah.
And we're just going to be, we're working on making some influencer accounts. So on like Instagram. So just imagine bringing influencer accounts into that too, of posting the video on Instagram. So I think that'll be a huge increase in traffic too. And also we're working on, like, if you go to SERPs and you see a real big image, so if your users want to look up asbestos attorney Anchorage AK, when they go to it, they'll look at an image that's huge. It's not like, it looks like an ad. So we're actually trying to fire that big image on all of our videos. That's like a huge spot because it's not an ad, it's not a paid ad. Like, you have to be pretty good at what you're doing or find the holes in Google to get that. And we're doing it. We're not like positive that everything's right, but we're still doing it.
Okay, I get the idea I'm thinking from what you're saying and all the stuff you're doing that you're constantly like testing different things and trying to just figure things out.
Yeah, I mean, a big part of what the kids do is testing, 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 and once they figure out what the magic code is, then we'll bring that into a niche and test it on that niche, and then once we know that we're okay, then we'll shoot it out to everything.
Got it.
But we enjoy doing a lot of testing, you know.
Yeah, it's fun. It's the cool part of SEO. So
yeah.
A less kind of specific question, but how do you know what to test, or do you have like a process you use for testing things?
So the only process is, we don't really have like a process. I'll say something like, why is this video indexed when this account is like, when my account Levi is logged in, and it's not indexed when this account is logged in. So we'll have to test if it's like a mobile split.
Sure.
So that was a test that we were doing. Another test we were doing was like, we don't want to do so many embeds. So we would add in 100 embeds every day. And once the video disappeared, that would be our cutoff. Then we pick another video and do 10, 10, 10. If it ended sooner, that would be our cutoff. Okay. So that was another test we were doing.
With the embeds, like you said, 200, 300 per video. Obviously, you're doing like hundreds and hundreds of videos or thousands per city or whatever else keyword you're doing. Are you, like, the way it sounds is that you want it to look like it's going viral. So are you doing them very, very fast in a very short period of time, or is it dripped out a little bit?
Yeah, it's very, very fast. It's within 24 hours.
Okay, all like 200, 300?
Everything.
Yeah. Okay, everything.
It's really, essentially the way IFT works is it's within 2 hours is what I want to say. So within 2 hours, it goes out to all the accounts. So it's very, very fast. Yeah, we don't drip anything out. I don't even know how to drip anything out. Like I don't know how to do that.
But it makes sense, right? Like what you're saying makes sense. Like it's designed to make it look like it's going viral. Yeah.
Because, I think Google takes stock in things that are viral, so.
Okay.
Plus it's social.
Yeah. Do you do anything fancy with like the thumbnails or anything to get people clicking it more?
So when we would do mass pages and things in Google, and we don't do it so much on video because we got in trouble, but with mass pages we would do clickbaiting and click AdSense, or click jacking. So clickbaiting is where you would type in something like asbestos attorney, and the meta tag would say blah 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 asbestos attorney. So they would click on it thinking they're coming to asbestos attorney. So they would come in and they would be redirected to a site that has nothing to do with asbestos attorney. It's just I usually would send it to a porn site. So it's sex sells. So we would end up on a site that would say, yes, I'm 18, yes or no. So if they clicked on yes, on the back end was an AdSense ad. So they're actually clicking on an AdSense ad.
Okay. Got it.
So
yeah, it's hidden. They can't see it, and they click, and you're getting paid. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the yes no is clickjacking, and the title thing would be clickbaiting. So I love doing that stuff because it's just it's laughable to see what people will click on, and we have I think it's Hotjar on it to see how many people are clicking through to see if it tricks people or not. But for video, it's just really, you can't do that for video. It's just impossible.
Yeah.
Almost. I mean, I'm not creative enough to do it with video, but with websites it is. So once they would land on a site, then also I would capture a Facebook pixel, and then they land on the site and they're like, oh, this isn't what I wanted to click on. If they click on back, they would think they're going to Google, but they click on back and they actually go to Amazon. So then my cookie gets dropped on the machine from Amazon. So each person I want to make at least $1 off, regardless, AdSense or Amazon. So if I'm not making it on AdSense, then I'm going to make it on Amazon. So I don't have anything where they like type in their name or their email, like a funnel. I don't know how to make a funnel. I don't even know how to make a website. So, like I am very simple in how I think. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
that's just another testing part. Is if my family and my wife happens to go and click on something, I'll be like, why did you click on that? So she'll explain to me, and then I'll make something around what she would click on.
It reminds me of my spammy Facebook days when we do like click jacket again, and we have like click to watch this like super clickbait video, and then you click and it is like click jacking for like the like button or something. Very, very spammy stuff. It worked really well.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very, very black hattish stuff because, you know, you can get in legal problems with AdSense and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
how do you... I'm guessing you're doing some sort of cloaking now. Are you still doing that now, or is it something you've done in the past?
So I haven't done it since November because we've been focusing on YouTube. But before that, we would cloak a lot, and then we would run we wouldn't put more than $1,000 in an AdSense account in 1 month because we would stay under the radar of getting caught. Yeah. So I had a couple thousand AdSense accounts, and I had quite a few Amazon accounts too because, you know, they'll get you too because it's like a sneaky redirect. They don't like that either. So if you're gonna go that route, you gotta set it up first.
Did you get some of them banned at all?
Yeah, I got a lot of accounts banned. I'm good at getting stuff banned.
It's part of the process, especially if you're doing stuff like that.
You know, like I'm like, okay, yeah, we can't do that. So
it's interesting though. It's very cool stuff. Okay, did I miss anything out of the YouTube side of things? I'm trying to think of I think I'm pretty detailed.
You know, I don't think so. I think like with the YouTube, I think the trick is to find something that people would convert on YouTube. Like a lot of the how-to stuff is really big on YouTube, so that's really easy to convert. And you can make money on a how-to. We just, you know, get to click over to your website, capture their email, send them an offer, you know.
Okay.
Things like that.
With like affiliate stuff or Amazon affiliate stuff, are you sending them to your website first, not directly to the product? Oh.
So in the description we put like a link shortener.
Yeah.
So it links directly to Amazon. I don't send them to a website now. I used to send them to like like then I have to expect them to put their email in if I want to capture it, or I'm already having them have to click out of YouTube. So I don't want to give them an extra reason why not to go, you know, to go back. I want them to land on Amazon, get the cookie, and then if you want to go back, then I don't care.
100%. That makes a lot of sense. Do you have any, like, do your videos get much views, especially like the local, like lead gen type stuff?
So not, I mean, so my niches are really targeted. So like for Christmas lights, it was Christmas lights hanging. So it wasn't a lot of views, but it was so targeted, we converted so many of them. So the views in a month can be 50 to 250 probably would be the highest.
Makes sense.
But if you're converting 10% of them, like that's good enough for me. I mean, because we have so many niches, you know. I mean, if you have attorneys and you're converting 10% of 250, that's pretty good. That's like $500 a call, you know.
Yeah. No, I think I wasn't sure what the conversion is on YouTube videos. I know on like web pages, like local pages, anywhere from 10-20% is pretty normal for local keywords.
Yeah, I think it just kind of depends upon what your niche is. Like, I go for a lot of the seasonal niches, like snow removal. So during the snow removal time, it's really high, and then I'll try to convert those people over to landscaping. So then my landscapers will get some calls. But then there are some niches that you're not. It's really hard to get calls on. But I don't play in where like the big guys play. Like everyone else is trying to do AC repair. Everyone's trying to do plumbing. Everyone's trying to do pest control. So I'm not doing those. I'm doing snow removal, and I'm doing like artificial turf installation, like very
Yeah.
particular niches, you know.
Okay. How did you get started learning this? You said you got out of SEO, then you got back into it again after a while. How did you get into all this YouTube spam? How did you even start to learn it?
Um, so so when I first started in the internet marketing world, I was on food stamps and I was on state aid and I didn't have a penny to my name. And I have two kids, so I had to teach myself how to make a living. And literally I went to, what is that called? Digital Marketing Place, maybe it was, and the Warrior Forum, and just reading. And I read for almost a year, maybe longer. And at some point, you have to put the methods to use, because if you're just reading, you're never going to make any money.
Yeah.
Nothing that's, you can keep reading, but as long as you're implementing what you're learning, it's fine. And after reading, I did the PBN stuff and then went to the YouTube. And the only reason I went to YouTube is just because my kids were like crazy about YouTube and they were like consistently watching. So everything was really self-taught in the sense of I read the stuff and then I would test it. And then I was like, well, that doesn't work. So I would know, well, don't do that. But then I would do this and I'm like, well, Cut said not to use PBNs as an example. So I tested it, and I'm like, oh my God, like they totally worked. Why would he say not to do that? So a lot of it was just testing and teaching myself how to do it. Like to this day, I've been doing this for 4 or 5 years now. To this day, I can install a WordPress site and like put content on it, but I wouldn't know anything about widgets, and I don't know anything about design because
That's perfect,
that's
right?
not my focus.
Yeah, specialized focused in what it is you do.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I enjoy, like, a lot of people are, what's your day like? And I'm like, well, I do a lot of restarting my VPSs and registering accounts and doing some of the stuff like a VA could do, but it's what I enjoy doing. So I do the stuff that I enjoy doing, even if it's little petty stuff. And I'll leave web design to, I'll hire someone on Fiverr if I have to make it. I don't want to learn that part, and I don't have any interest in doing it. So I do what I'm good at, and then what I'm not good at, somebody else can do it.
You just killed my next question, which is going to be, what is your...
Sorry. What's my daily day like? I get up at 6 in the morning. I restart about 50, 60 servers, make sure everything's running again, look at my stats for the day. I watch a lot of Netflix. Not gonna lie. I take naps a lot. I take my summers off. Usually I take my summer from June to August. The end of August we go camping. So I take off almost my whole summer because it's all passive income. This year I'll have to work because I lost all my videos. But
Okay.
That's my goal, is to always not work in the summer. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
I have a pretty easy day,
Yeah, do you have any, like, you have, like, the high schoolers and stuff, how often are they working? They're just temporary?
So up until November, they were working every day. But
Okay.
now they come in about 3 days a week, and they do 4 hours. At the most, I had 50. At the least, I have 10. So there's always 10 people.
Okay.
And they all have their own laptops. We had to bring in a special internet fiber for us. We had to bring in some special power because I blew the block when I had all my kids here. It's been growing pains. Like, I don't want to get office because I love working at home. I work in my jammies and I take naps and I eat Ruffles and so
Fair enough.
yeah.
Cool. I think we pretty much covered everything. What is something interesting that most people don't know about you?
Something interesting most people don't know about me. I don't know. I'm probably, like, a lot of I guess this is interesting. Not really, maybe. So a lot of people, they find me a little bit standoffish, maybe, online, because I'm kind of like, you're in my area or not. So if I want to tackle a niche, I'm very aggressive,
Yeah.
Because I'm competitive, and so I'll come after you, and I'll let you know. Like, I'm coming in this niche, so if you're in this niche, maybe find something else, because I'm going to rank #1. So I'm very aggressive and competitive. So a lot of people maybe find that to be a little bit standoffish, but when they meet me in person, they're just like, "Oh my God, you're so nice! Like, you're nothing like you are online." So maybe that's something interesting. I'm not like as mean maybe in person.
That's interesting. You're not as scary in person.
Yeah, no, I'm very quiet and very shy in person. I'm like, you know, I'm always like the little girl in the corner just working, just headphones in working, like, leave me alone.
So could we quickly recap the tools you mentioned to wrap it up? Or any other tools you want to add in the mix?
Yeah, so Money Robot, Zenit Poster, X Runner. What did I miss?
Let me write these down.
Scrapebox.
You said there was a tool for the videos to change in milliseconds?
Oh, yeah. What's it called? Spin Blaster Pro, I believe it's called.
Okay.
That sounds like what it is. And then I have the tools that I made, which are Maps Maker, and then IFT Bot, and then my indexer that I made, which is Badass Indexer. So those are pretty much the tools that I made that I use for the videos and for ranking.
Awesome. You developed them, or you hired a developer?
So I hired a developer.
Okay. Cool.
So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay. What about like final thing? Because I forgot to ask this. How do you like track if this is working? Like track the rankings or anything?
So I don't track the rankings. And I do spot checking. Like when we do a new network, we'll spot check 50 or so. If I did rank, if I check them, it would be like Microsoft Masters, and I would just put 50 in or something like that. Once we know we have 50 ranking, I don't really pay attention to it anymore. And
got it.
You kind of can tell if you lost a network because your call volume on that phone number would go down because each state has a different phone number. So if tree removal in Wisconsin got no calls, I know that site, or that I lost that account, or that network went down, got de-indexed, or whatever the case is. But I don't track anything. There's no way you can track it with you can't track it with that many videos.
100%, yeah. Okay. What about call recording? Call tracking, sorry.
With with what?
How do you track the calls?
Oh, the calls, sorry. With Home Advisor, I can see the call volume on my Twilio account, so I use Twilio. You can use Callfire or whatever, like ACT or whatever. So that's the only way that we track the calls, is we just log into that, a couple times in a day. But eventually, honestly, I probably, like last year, I probably went a couple months and didn't even log into it, because I knew it was reoccurring, or I'm sorry, passive.
Yeah.
That I didn't have to.
I do the same. I have sites that I've just been running for like upwards of a year. They just sit there. I don't need to check every single month.
Yeah. I mean, ideally you probably would want to check it, but when you get you eventually I get so much up there that it's not feasible to check.
Yeah.
Other than checking Home Advisor to see what the income was,
Sure. Okay, where can people find you and find these tools and everything that you developed?
So you can find me in a couple different ways. You can go to Facebook and look up Holly Starks. You can add me on Facebook. You can go to a site, which is badassindexer.com, and that has a link to all the softwares that I've created. And then my Skype, which is Greenie12322. Greenie12322. But yeah, I don't have a website just because, like,
who needs one?
I take clients by referral and word of mouth, and a lot of times they'll come to me and I'll be like, oh, I don't know, like, is it going to be worth your time to hire me to do it? It's not that I'm not that expensive. Like I'm a pretty cheap social or services person. It's just if I'm in that niche, I don't want to take you on as a client, you know.
Sure. It makes a lot of sense. All right. Thanks for joining me. This has been really cool. Anyone that wants to do like spammy stuff or YouTube, they're gonna learn a heck of a lot from this.
Oh yeah, I love spamming. Like I wouldn't know how to do a citation. I'm like people talk about ranking. It takes 6 months. I'm like, what? 5 days? Come on now.
It's
Thanks for
awesome.
having me on. It was fun.
All right. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you guys next week.